This Valentine's love sponge is moist, creamy, and sure to be a dessert to be remembered. The ingredients list is halved in this instance for one simple reason: I only have one hard baking tray. So I'm going to have to do the two sponges separately. So I shall start with 3 of our 6 eggs, and into that I shall add 90 grams of caster sugar. And then whisk this until it's nice and stiff and peaky for approximately 5 to 6 minutes. And now, after 5 minutes, you can see that is nicely beaten to form semi-stiff peaks. So now comes the next part of the recipe, where we fold in the 90 grams of self-raising flour. We want to be careful not to lose all that air from the eggs and sugar. And just gently fold that in, almost as if you're caressing or lightly tickling it. And our final. And like I said, just caress the eggs and sugar with the flour, so it holds as much of that air as possible. And now that has been gently folded in and retained all of that air in our lovely love sponge mixture, we simply spoon it into our heart-shaped cake tin. And now caress that around the edges of the cake tin and simply pop that in the oven for 20 minutes at gas mark 5 or 190 degrees Celsius. So we have taken the first sponge out of the oven, let it cool in the wire rack. And as you can see, it's light, fluffy, and lovely and moist. So now we repeat the process one more time. Those are now both out of the oven and our love sponge is ready to decorate. Now we have both sponges finished, just a few last stages to decorate it and change it from a plain, normal, heart-shaped sponge into our Valentine love sponge. So firstly, we need to whip a carton of double cream. As you can see, we want that nice and thick so that it holds the cake together, but not too thick that it won't spread. Now we need to get a jar of strawberry or raspberry jam, whatever your preference is, and spoon quite a significant amount of that into a bowl. And as you can see, it's much too firm at the moment to spread on a cake. So we're going to just have to mash that down. And if needs be, add the tiniest little drop of boiling water. And just give that a good mix so that it becomes very, very spreadable. And next we want to turn over one of the sponges and just coat it, first of all, in this jam. Now I won't do the contentious question of which comes first, jam or cream. In my opinion, with any kind of sponge, it should always be the jam which comes first. And just spread a nice even layer all across the base of that sponge. Next, we want to start spooning the cream on top of the jam, and we want a nice thick layer of it. Don't use all the cream, you're going to need a dollop for the top of the cake, so just spread that as evenly as you can all across that base. Don't worry if it's not entirely perfect, because it just adds to the homemade look and feel. And now just squeeze that top sponge just like that. So if we move that over to the center, and now we can decorate it slightly. So just get a good dollop of cream and place that right in the center. And top that with whatever decoration you like. Now the first thing that I like to put over it is some icing sugar. Some people put that on before the cream. I like to put it on after because it just gives a sweetness to the cream. Almost gives it a slight buttercream texture. And that looks wonderful. And now in the center, we just want to take a nice sizable piece of strawberry and plop that right in the center of that cream. And we want to surround that with some of these chocolate hearts, Dr. Oetker chocolate hearts that you can get in just about any supermarket. And just sprinkle some of those around the cream. And feel free to add anything else you like. I'm just going to pop a raspberry in there also. And as you can see, oh, that looks great. And now we add some grating of chocolate over the top of that as a finishing touch. And now we shall arrange that on our kickstand. And now we just take the strawberries and the raspberries and arrange them around the plate in any fashion you like. And there you have it, our Valentine's love sponge. Moist, creamy and delicious. Happy Valentines.